Alright, so in this video we're gonna create the inventory UI. I also have this script that I will be including in the description, but I'm not gonna sit here for 40 minutes and make you type out or watch me type out 147 lines of code, give or take 20 lines for the spaces in between. Instead, I'd rather just go through them one at a couple lines at a time. So what I will show you next, though, is the creation of the UI. So let's get started. What we're first going to do is in our scene, we're going to add a new user interface scene. We can go ahead and change the name here to Inventory UI. Then we're going to go ahead and add a new node. In this case, I used the hotkey Control A to add that, and I'm going to search for a canvas layer. I'm going to go ahead and add that guy in right there. Under this canvas layer, I'm going to search for a panel. In this case, it's going to be a panel container right there. I'm going to press create. We're going to go ahead and change the name of that by pressing F2, and I'm going to name this inventory panel. Now the settings on this, well, a couple things we're going to do. First, we'll change some settings, then we'll move it around. So for the settings, we're going to go ahead and change the layout to be 1080 by 720. That way it fills up the screen a little bit. We can adjust the size later when we go to put it into, attach it to our main menu area. Let's see. Oh Lord, forgive me. I'm yawning. We can also change our anchors to be full anchor. Whoa, okay, maybe not that one. Yeah, that'll be fine. And then that'll be it for that one. If we need something else, we'll adjust it. From to there, though, let's add a VBox container. We're not going to change the name on that, but we are going to have this custom setting to be 520 by 400. And then we're going to add an HBox container to our VBox container. So HBox, and that'll be fine the way it is. And to that HBox container, we're going to add a couple of labels. So label, and then there we go. Label. I don't know why I typed it again. It was already right there. But this one's going to be the title label, and then this one is going to be the close button. Oh, I don't know why I added another label. I only needed one. Let's try this again. HBox container, and then Control A, and we're actually going to add a button this time. And it's going to be called close button. Alright, and I'm going to click on VBox again, and I'm going to add a grid. Is it grid container? Yes, grid container. And I'm just going to change the name of this to grid. Now we're going to add a couple other things because we got to set up our tooltips, right? So to our inventory UI, I'm going to do a search real quick for a panel pop-up right here, pop-up panel. I'm going to change the name of that to tooltip, and I'm going to press Control A. We're going to look for a margin container. We're going to add to our tooltip a VBox container. Actually, no, that's going to be to our margin container like that. And then here we're going to add 2 labels. We're going to name one of these labels tooltip name, and the next one is going to be tooltip description. And then to that VBox container, we're going to add, no, that's it. That's all we need. Alright. Alright. Now, let's get into our code. So, as we are looking at our code here, right, some things to keep in mind are that it's a lot. Okay. Now, so we will start from. So here we go. We have our control. We extend control because that's the UI root node, of course, and then we preloaded the inventory slot script. That way we can hard type the arrays and signal callbacks, even if we don't, since we don't register a class name here. I had a class name here. You probably saw the comment saying that there isn't one. That was because when I had the class name, it was, for some reason, it wasn't like vibing with everything else. Not sure why. Reached out to a few friends of mine and they said just remove it. Like, I had somebody look at it and they sent it back and said nope, just keep it out for now. So that's what I'm going to do. Excuse me. Let's see. The next section is going to be some tweaks for the inspector. Right, these guys right here. We need to load the inventory slot scene, and we're telling it how many slots to have. So we're going to tell it to load 24 of them eventually. And then we have our references that are going to bind to the scene tree. So that's going to be our inventory panel here, the grid, and then our title, label, and close button as well. And then our tooltip name and description. And these are going to be when we hover over an item. That's going to be what am I thinking of? What displays, what pops up in displays when we hover over an item. From there, we're going to be looking at the slot list and the current selection, which currently we have it defaulted to none is selected. And there's our arrays that are set up. These one right here are really just throwaways, okay, that we're going to reuse during the loops. Declaring them will avoid variant interference warnings, because by default setting warnings as errors is turned on. So if it wanted to prevent that, help you guys out with that just in case. And then we have our ready setup here. And so what we have here is we set the title and the close button to hide the panel, right? Or set up the title and wired the close button to hide the panel. We're hiding the tooltips by default, and then enable word wrap on the labels as well. That way it's not just one giant long horizontally long string of words. We forced some, we hard coded just like we did in the slot to force some of the size or the layout, just to make sure that it's actually going to show properly. And then here we called build slots after it's all set up. So if we move down here to our build slots function, okay, we're clearing out any old children, that then we're creating brand new slots, instances from the slot scene. We're going to give each a name and set its index and force the cell size so that the grid doesn't collapse. We're going to connect through the 3 signals here from each slot, hovered, unhovered, and selected. And then finally we add them to the grid and then remember them in the slots underscore here. So in our refresh, what we're doing is we're pulling from the current entries, from the model that we created a few videos ago. For each visible index, we're either going to set an item and a quantity or clear the slot to be empty. And then after rendering, we're going to clear the selection and hide the tooltip so the grid state remains consistent. Next, we're going to be talking about the show and hide and toggle the panels, right? So it's pretty not self-explanatory, it's pretty simple to follow. These make it easy for a controller or pause menu to open up or close the inventory. In this case, it's going to be I. It's going to reset. It's going to open it. We'll also reset the selection and tooltips whenever we hide it. So that means it'll clear the select. So if you click on, you'll see something will be yellow when we click on it. And then if we hide it and bring it back up, it won't be yellow anymore. Next, we are going to go over these guys right here. So the hovering shows the tooltips near the mouse. Unhover hides it unless something is actively selected. And then selecting moves the highlight to a new slot to ensure the tooltips are visible for a selected item only. And lastly, we always turn off the old highlight before turning on the new one, and that's what the select slot does, right? Clear selection clears out the selection, right? It hides it. So this is turning it off, this is selecting the new one. Tooltips are going to show the name plus the count for stackables and in the description. So that's going to update it based on wherever we're at in the inventory, and then we will hide the tooltip once we move it away from the item, and we'll show all that in the final product. All right. So once again, this code will be available to you guys in the same link as the previous videos. And it will be in the description. Okay, it will be in the description. Yeah. Oh, we almost forgot. Let's go ahead and press Control S. Oh, let's add this script to it. But let's press Control S to save this first. Go into our scenes, UI, inventory, InventoryUI.tscn. That's fine. And then now we need to add this script to it. What is this? I want to make sure that that is not the name of the code because it's trying to create it. So let's click on the file. Let's find our inventory. Oh, that's the scene scripts inventory. We want, this one right here. Open and load. There we go. Now it's attached. All right. Now let's press Control S. And with that, I will see you in the final video where we'll set up the controller and then test it all out, and hopefully everything works. I'll see you then.